What's up, guys? It's D. And unfortunately, I'm going to be the one to tell you that you've been lied to for over a decade. That and more coming up. Gotta start cutting this fence. See if we can make this happen. All right, so what did they lie to you about? Probably thinking, Dean, why the clickbaity title? How unprofessional. How dare you? The reason for that title is because it's true. And it's been going on for a decade plus. If you are a lawyer or a doctor or somebody who has been in school for literally almost 2 decades, you'll see that what I'm saying is probably the case. In fact, it's funny because my clients that are lawyers, when they're using their virtual systems architects, one of the hardest things for them to do is to do a video that they know somebody else is going to do. And there's a good reason for that. It's actually not their fault. It's not your fault as well if you have problems systematizing, if you have problems delegating and working with teams and building teams and things like that. So, walking on my land without Luna, we just got these feral cats and Luna will literally not leave their side. She just wants to play with them. They're like hissing at her, and she will not leave the little house that they're in. Anyway, pretty cool that she's finally doing something of use. Anyway, so, and look at that, wildflowers, yellow wildflowers are starting to pop up. Okay, anyway, so what I was gonna say, sorry for taking so long, is that we are taught from a very early age to do everything ourselves. You take that test, you take that quiz, you do that homework. If you were to pay somebody else to do it, somebody who's better at you, but somebody who is more skilled, guess what? You would be spanked on the butt, right? Figuratively speaking, or you'd be sent to the principal's office or something like that, right? So we are taught very quickly, very early, from kindergarten on to when we have when you get your doctorate, we are taught that you need to pass the test. You need to learn the skills. You need to do the work. And that is a very hard thing for people to let go, with good reason. And so with all of that brainwashing, what do you think happened? Time to take back the parental crate, since we got our cats, and bring it back to the feed store. All right, so what happens is that it becomes very difficult for doctors and lawyers and financial advisors and accountants and so on and so forth to run a business. Because what do you need in order to run a business? You need staff, right? Because otherwise you are a solopreneur, you have your own job, everything is your own hours, and it's not scalable. Nobody's going to buy that business, right? Nobody's going to buy that business and say, here, let me buy this business and work 80 hours a week. Ain't gonna happen, my friend. Not gonna happen. You might be making a lot of money. That's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want, that's great. But if you really, truly want a business and have a business and need a business and want to be able to sell that business or let it run without you, you have to have systems. You have to have staff. And that is not something that you're taught. That is not something that I was taught. If I paid anybody in school to do my work, it was expulsion or suspension, right? And we're still, even with so one of my guilty pleasures is playing a game called Final Fantasy 14. And I hear my kids back there, so got to be very quiet. Final Fantasy 14. And you can spend hours, like seriously hundreds of hours playing that game, if not thousands, in order to get the max levels, the best stuff and everything like that. But what's a big no-no is using bots to automate everything, right? Well, I'm not going to say I do. I'm not going to say I don't. But sometimes I have possibly maybe four different accounts going at the same time, earning me money, in-game money, all that other jazz. Oh, man. And if, that's against the terms of service, right? You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to let other things work for you. You're not allowed to let other people work for you, right? That is cheating. We want you to do the work. You need to be glued to your seat. You need to be glued to what we want to put in front of your face, all the advertising. We want you to do all the hours, right? No. That is not the way it should work. It's not the way business should work, right? But let's keep that between you and me, okay? I'm gonna go fix the fence. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
All right. Love you. All right, so here's the thing is that it's not something to get angry at. It's not something, a lot of people actually get angry at me for even bringing this up. And I totally get it. If you there's nothing wrong. If you like doing the work, or if you think that that's just really the only way that you can get something done in your business or job or whatever it is, it's totally fine. But just know that that's a big part of that was ingrained in you from an early age, for decades, literally decades, every year, every day, you are the one. So no wonder it's so hard for a lot of business owners, especially ones who believe they have skills, like those lawyers who believe they had the skills of incorporating and everything like that, who got smashed by LegalZoom, right? We have this idea that because we've done so much of the work, because we've learned so many skills, right? Skills, I say that because a lot of these skills can be turned into systems, because they're not really, they're skills to create first, but then it can actually be turned into a system like LegalZoom. Now is the time that if you really truly want to start scaling, you really truly want to build a business that works without you, now is the time to learn two things. One is systems, documented processes, which are systems, right? Sometimes systems involve technology and things like that. Systems, documented processes that allow you to delegate. There's so many people who I run into who are like, I've outsourced before. It doesn't work. I tell them I want to do something. I want them to do something and they just don't get it, right? Well, look at the biggest companies out there. They have documented processes. Big companies need documented processes. It's really the only way. Otherwise, when you communicate, it's just going to go out there. But learning those skills are what's going to get you to the next level in your business. It's the reason why we have ProSolum with the 5-minute virtual systems architects, where they literally document your stuff. You spend 5 minutes showing them, they document your stuff, and then they can do it like that. So that's what they've been lying to you about. You don't have to do the work yourself. The biggest thing is to create systems and use those systems, use those documented processes to find other people who can then do the work that you're doing and basically duplicate yourself. Even if it took you 10 hours to document everything, you personally, which sucks, to document everything in 10 hours, that's a process you never have to do. Even if that was just for one process, you never have to do it again, ever, right? So learn that skill. It's super helpful and will do you some good. So this is Dean Soto, and I'll catch you in the next video.